By far, the most entertaining conference in college football is the Big 12. I mean, last year you had the team picked to finish in last place, end up winning the whole dang thing, go into the playoff, and taking an SEC team to double overtime. That's what we get out of the Big 12. And if you like the Big 12 like I do, like this video and subscribe for more college football content as we unravel this whole puzzle that is the season through the next few months. This is going to be a fun one. All right, in the Big 12, you're looking at a conference here that's chaotic top to bottom. You have teams trying to spend money and trying to hit the transfer portal to get ahead of each other. You have other teams trying to rely on the old-fashioned way to do things, homegrown type of talent. This is going to be very interesting to see how this conference plays out. We are going to do the same thing we did with the ACC. Offensive player of the year or often best offensive player, best defensive player, coach of the year prediction, and then we're going to go through the standings where I will give you my championship game, sleeper teams, or sleeper team, and the overhyped team. Starting with the best offensive player, you could go many different directions. Sam Levitt, of course, from last year's Big 12 championship team. Sawyer Robertson having a very high QBR, one of the highest returning QBRs in college football. But I'm taking a little bit of a leap here. Somebody who is going to take a massive jump in his second year starting. We're going with Mr. Avery Johnson out of Kansas State. I think he's going to have a big year. He's got the tools. He's got the mobility. He's got the team around him. He's got the experience, continuity. I think that he could take a massive leap this year. And the talent that this kid has, man, when you watch him play, he's definitely got all the tools in the tool bag. He's just simply got to put it all together. We'll see if he can put it all together this year. I'm taking him to be that top player on the offensive side of the ball as we move to the defensive side of the ball. Now, you are looking for a guy with NFL potential, NFL pedigree, somebody who's going to get drafted high. You need somebody who's dominant within this conference, and there is nobody more dominant on the defensive line than Dante Corleone. He is an absolute wreck in the middle. I mean, he could get after the passer a little bit, but certainly don't try running the ball on him. He's a monster, dominant force in the middle. Has been talked about as one of the best defensive tackles in college football for now a couple of years. This is a guy I expect to see come off a draft board pretty early or come off the draft board pretty early next April. It's going to be a lot of fun to see how he plays this year as he tries to increase on that draft stock. And then we're going to move on to the coach of the year predictions. And this is definitely an interesting situation here because, you know, last year with what Dillingham was able to do, he kind of set expectations. Kyle Whittingham, already a known player here. So maybe if Utah could spark something, could he be the coach of the year? Kansas State with Chris Klieman, if they can get over the top, then you got like Dave Aranda over at Baylor if they can get over the top. But I think a team that hasn't gotten over the top in a very long time, hasn't been here in years. You have Joey McGuire, the head coach of the Texas Tech Red Raiders. I think he's going to win the coach of the year, and I think that's going to transition us straight over to the Big 12 standings. So as we go into these standings, we have the conference championship, an overhyped team, a sleeper team. We're going to touch on every single team in the Big 12 right here, right now. Let's go. All right, you can see the standings right here. You got Kansas State and Texas Tech at the top, both 10-2, 7-2 in conference. Very similar to how it was a year ago as far as the records go. Now, you're not going to have a crazy tiebreaker with a bunch of 7-2 teams because I have 3 6-3 teams with Baylor, Utah, Iowa State. Utah could definitely be that surprise team this year. I almost had them going 10 wins, but I did not want to take that leap of faith with Utah this year just because we don't know how Jason Beck's offense is going to translate. We don't know how Devin Dampier's offense or quarterback play is going to translate from the group of 5 to the Power 4. So we'll see with Utah if they can even elevate past this. But one thing's for sure, I don't think too many people are talking about Utah right now. I think they could be a contender in the Big 12, and this could be Kyle Whittingham's last year. So Utah is my sleeper team in this conference. They're a heck of a fun team to watch out for. Baylor is going to be fun too. I think their offense is going to be really good. Losing Pendergrass or probably earlier this week, Dawson Pendergrass, that's going to hurt them a lot as far as depth at running back, but they still have Washington. They were going to have a pretty solid defense. You can bet on that with Dave Aranda. And then Iowa State, I can't wait to preview the Kansas State-Iowa State game. You can kind of tell where I'm leaning with it, obviously, but that game is going to be super duper important with State right away. First game of the college football season. That's what makes it super exciting. And the next team up is my overhyped team, Arizona State. Let's say Mississippi State catches lightning in the bottle. Could they get that win against Arizona State out of conference? I did not predict it, evidently, with them going 3-0 out of conference, but 5-4 in conference after a conference championship a year ago is a major disappointment. I think Cam Scatterboo meant a lot, but I also think there was a lot of luck involved with what Arizona State was able to do last year that I think that's going to somewhat cancel out. It's kind of the opposite thinking when you're talking about USC in the Big Ten, is when you hear people talk, they're like, look, 5-1 score games that they lost, and they had fourth quarter leads in like 3 or 4 of those games that they lost. That luck is going to flip. Well, you could think that luck is going to flip with Arizona State. I got them 8-4, 5-4 in conference play. Then you got TCU, BYU 7-5. Both of these teams have the potential to elevate here. I think BYU has a pretty decently difficult schedule, which is why I got them 4-5 in conference. But I also think, too, that there is going to be a lot of growing pains with the presumed starter now being Bear Bachmeier, a true freshman. So I think there's a lot of growing pains that's going to happen with this offense. With TCU, I think wide receiver depth is somewhat of a concern, and I just don't know how much top-end ability that defense is going to have. You move on to the 6-6 teams, and there's a handful of them. Kansas, Cincinnati, Arizona, Houston, 3 of which are 4-5 in conference, and we got Houston at 3-6 in conference. Houston's going to be a dangerous team that's going to catch somebody for sure. I think Kansas is a little bit dangerous. 6-6 is probably honestly benefit of the doubt, though, because they are replacing a lot on the offensive side of the football alongside Jalen Daniels. I mean, yeah, you can know that Jalen Daniels is back, but no Arnold, no Skinner, no Grimm, no Neal. Like, these guys are all exiting the door, and I don't think it's really going to look too good for Kansas. Cincinnati, I think that they have potential also to really be a surprise team in this league. I like what Brendan Sorsby was able to show last year. Of course, running the ball, they're able to do that a little bit too, play good defense. The problem is I do not trust their head coach, Scott Satterfield, whatsoever. Arizona, when I did their preview, a lot of questions on defense. But I love this offense. Like, I think it's going to be better than it was a year ago, even if they had Tetero and McMillan. So Arizona could be a very, very frisky team. And then we got 4, 5, and 7 teams. The only one that's 2 and 7 is UCF at the bottom of year 1, back with Scott Frost. We'll see how it all plays out. West Virginia, I think that they could be definitely better than their record shows. I think that this is a team that's going to be really, really dangerous in the month of November, and they could easily flip that into a couple more wins, like 6 or 7 wins. Oklahoma State, they're a big mystery bag to me. I think Haas Haney, based on what I've heard, can actually really play, and it sounds like he's going to be the starter over there. Colorado, another mystery bag team a little bit, but I do think that Caden Salter is going to be the starter, and I think that this team is going to be predicated on running the ball. I just think in some games that identity is going to run out of steam a little bit. So there you have it. We got Kansas State, Texas Tech. We would have a regular season matchup between those two schools as well. So I'm excited for what this conference has to show. We'll see if we can get a rematch like that or a unique first-time matchup for this season in that conference championship. Thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure you comment down below who you have winning the Big 12. I'll see you guys in the next video.